Hello and welcome to another episode of Evening Crypto with your host, your boy, the Real Shot 256. Tonight, I want to talk about a very important topic that a lot of crypto retail investors mainly forget to do whenever we have something like we have seen in the past few weeks when we get into an uptrend and things go ballistic, things go parabolic. People start going crazy over their crypto holdings, and as they should. I mean, some of these crypto holdings have been going up for the last few weeks to the tune of about over 100%. So that is nothing to not get excited about. It's actually all the contrary. You should be excited about what's going on lately. And so, one important aspect of this whole investing in crypto thing is remember in any situation or any investment, any whether it's stocks, bonds, traditional markets, crypto, commodities, whatever the case might be, you should always, 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 always remember to take profits, remember to pay yourself, remember to take some risk off the table and proceed with caution. Again, especially after you've seen such an elongated, and I'm not going to say overextended because for a while we were overextended to the downside, right? We were on a very very long 6 month, 8 month downtrend. If we go back to this top here, back in June 26th, when we reached the top in 2019 to the tune of about 14,000, and then we went on a months long retracement or downtrend, and finally things started to turn around. I call this the bottom of the turnaround point here on December 17th, 2019, just a couple of months ago. So, always, always, always remember to take some profits after such a long, elongated um, time or term of profits, right? You never, because again, these are not perpetual moves. This is not, I mean, it's just ridiculous and just unrealistic to think that any investment is just going to continue upwards to the end of eternity, right? That just does not happen. We've seen it in crypto, we've seen it in stocks, we've seen it in pretty much anything. Real estate, you mentioned it. You're always going to have downturns. You're always going to have cycles. And cryptocurrency is a little bit different because, unlike in traditional markets, crypto doesn't rely on any sort of public event, any sort of news, or any sort of, just any sort of catalyst, really. I mean, there are some things that will affect the price, but, for the most part, it's just based on cycles, right? Bear cycles and bull cycles. So just want to put a little emphasis tonight on just, remember to always take profits. And I'm going to go over some signs as to where you might get some hints or how to identify these places or terms or times where you should be taking profits, because again, these moves are never perpetually to the upside or downside, so you should act accordingly, de-risk your positions when you have a parabolic move like we have been seeing for the last couple of months. And it's just a smart, healthy thing to do if you are going to be an investor in any market. These are some of the basic things that you should know and should apply to your investing game. All right, so let's get started. Let's do our quick little roundup here. Let's do a quick recap of the markets. It looks like we are, let me refresh this because I refreshed it a while ago. Yeah, things look a little bit different. So look at that. I mean, we are over $300 billion market cap, which we haven't seen in quite a while. If we go back, actually, when was the last time we saw $300 billion market cap? Yeah, it was back here in, last time we saw it, right around, we're going to call this August 8th. We're going to call it August 8th. So it's been a long, long time. Unfortunately, we did not maintain above the $300 billion level. Let's see if this time we can actually maintain that and quite possibly go above it. What we're looking for is to actually get above this pivot high here, not only in the market cap but also in the price of Bitcoin. Right, we've already gotten above this sort of pivot high there at 250 billion almost. But again, I don't want to get in too deep into this because we can actually show the same sort of mentality and same sort of analysis on Bitcoin. So let's actually just finish up here real quick. We're at 306 billion, 166 billion 24-hour trading volume, and Bitcoin dominance just continues to dip, which means again that pendulum is swinging or pointing at alts still, right? We keep seeing this dominance. Now, I've told you guys about a couple months ago, maybe a little bit longer, that I am looking at the 60 percentile as one of the catalysts to really get things going in the favor of the alts. So if you see Bitcoin dominance go below 60%, that is really going to trigger. That's what I'm looking as a big trigger to officially say, maybe we are forming some sort of altcoin, spring, if you will, right? Taking a sip of some diet soda here, but keep that in mind. 60 percentile is where things get really interesting, as if they haven't been already, but that's where things get kicked up a notch quite a bit. That is a big psychological barrier or point of reference to always pay attention to, as something that's going to um, signal the next thing or the next phase in the market, right? So as we see Jacob Canfield, who's enjoying the alt season. He's already calling an alt season. A reminder for you guys that want to engage and go further in this community, you can feel free to reach out at the Real Shaw 256 on Twitter. Hit me up, let me know that you're following, and we'll chat it up. All right, let's get into the charts. We're currently at 10,370. Let's get and dive a little deeper into the action. This was the target that I showed you guys a couple of weeks ago. We did hit it. In fact, we lost it, but then regained it immediately after that. Now, let's go back and show you guys this. And I did tweet about this. So if you guys, I know Timmy J, I think you were following, and I think we were chatting up on Twitter there. We were talking about this particular candle formation here. That this is how this is how you're in a uptrend or a bullish trend, when we have the daily chart printing a bull candle followed by a bearish or bear engulfing candle, right? And then typically you would have continuation, and we kind of did. We started off things a little scary, a little hairy here, dipping down all the way to what is this? What was the low? 90. The low was 9,700. Wow. I mean, so things get a little scary there, because not only did we painted this, not we, but Bitcoin posted this bearish engulfing candle here, which would mean that there would be continuation to the downside. This candle, the very next candle, followed up, and then we did see the price again dipping down into the $9,700, losing this box here, which was a key area, but then quickly regained it and just turned things around just incredibly strong with this price action here, printing immediately following a bearish engulfing candle, following it up with a bull engulfing candle, and follow through. Right, so this is a legitimate move, and we ended up with having the three white crows. I was expecting three black crows following this bearish engulfing candle. We ended up having the quite opposite. Again, just another indicator that we're in an uptrend or sort of a bull trending market, and the bulls are still in control. Right, this is a new daily candle. Things are still looking pretty good, but along with this indicator being bullish, what we really want to talk about tonight is sort of that sign where you want to kind of reconcile the information, the data, and just kind of say, okay, this is probably a good time to take some profits, shave some risk off of the table, and just take some gains, pay yourself, and then wait for a dip, right? Because I mean, quite naturally, this is how these markets operate. you would typically see something like a retracement into this, hot box in here, and then you can start a buy in here, and then continue on the flow, because again, this is a trend. The trend is your friend until it is not. So what we're looking for. So I want to look at this specific area right here. All right. So this box here is a very good indicator of a place for you to take profits. And the reason I say that is because hopefully you guys are paying attention to this. But what do we have here? We have an uptrend, and then we paint this reversal trend candle indicator that is sort of a doji, a spinning doji. We got the long legs going both ways. It could be a long-legged doji or a spinning doji. And then we have the green candle with the red candle here, and this candle in between. So this could be like a morning star formation here, where it indicates a reversal and a downtrend. And we actually do see that play through. Now, in hindsight, we are in a bullish trend. So what that means is these retracements are short-lived. So you better be quick on your feet when it comes to re-entering after you've sold some of your position or de-risked. Okay, and this is how every investor, textbook playbook, sort of thing situation where they sell at these levels here and then buy in at lower levels, right? But this is this is definitely a good textbook area where you can see a clear indicator that things were going to turn around and start seeing a correction, right? We did see that. We have these long-legged dojis or a hanging man or this this candle from three candlestick formation, called the morning star formation there. And that is again indicative of a turnaround. We also see it, with this candle here, long leg or long limb, however you want to call that, to the upside, meaning there's a lot of sell pressure here, and we ended with a red body again, continuation. Again, these are quick. Things were starting to turn around as far as what the trend would be, and these retracements are short lived. So along with that, you can think about, where should I re-enter from body to body? This was a 4.5% or 4.25% retracement, right? From this body to this body, we saw a 6.5% retrace. So that's pretty quick, right? That's pretty quick. So that's what I mean by, you better be quick on your feet. Was this a retracement or a correction? I mean, you can't really tell by looking at this. Not a bearish engulfing candle here. Not really. It was pretty. And was this a pullback? Yes, sure, certainly it was a pullback, but pretty modest. Pretty modest looking pullback, right? If we go from body to body, it's about 3.33%. Not that big of a retracement, pretty modest, but again, sort of. So there's other things that are far more easily identifiable, like this guy here, long limb to the upside or long wick to the upside, sort of a reverse hammer here, and then you do have continuation, right? Although there was a little bit of interruption here in between, you do have sort of the continuation that you look for after printing such a candle, right? A reversal candle here, all right? Let's look at another point. Maybe look at another top here. Here's another one. I mean, huge wick to the upside. A little bit of continuation, but then you saw a bearish, what looked like a bearish engulfing candle followed up there, and you did have continuation, and then you had another quick reversal here again within this area here. Actually, let me paint that a little better. Again, long-legged doji or spinning doji, and then reversal again. But these are long wick tops. After this is a really good example because you have really bullish action right after, and this is sort of a evening star here formation, kind of fits the description, and then you have the three white crows right after that as continuation, and you have these really long wicks to the upside. Again, when you have really long wicks to the downside there or upside, it just means that there's very high pressure, whether it's buying volume down here at the 3618, which is another technical indicator that should have told you, hey, look, there's buying pressure here. We're probably going to bounce from here. And then there's high selling pressure at the 382 and above. And so we're probably going to sell from here, buy at these lower levels, and then sell at these higher levels, right? So, you know, just a couple examples there. Here, same kind of thing. Long, long wicks, spinning doji here, spinning doji there, and then just continuation to the downside. Sometimes it might take one or two candles to actually print it. This one here looks like a hammer candle here, looking to reverse things, and it actually does on a shorter term. This is the daily still, so on a shorter time frame or mid time frame, things do turn around. Same here from an uptrend, a small uptrend, short uptrend to reversal and continuation to the downside. Same here, long wick to the downside, sort of a hammer candle, and then continuation to the upside. I mean, look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days of green candle, right? After this reversal candle down here. So, all right. So hopefully this is starting to make sense for you guys. When we are looking at a reversal, do we see anything like that? I don't see anything. It doesn't mean that it can't reverse at this time, especially because one thing that I'm looking at is that the trend is still strong because we're still trading volume-wise. We're still trading above the exponential here, right? So that is a pretty good strength indicator, in my opinion. That tells me that the trend is still going. There's still room to go. All right, sorry, taking another sip of my diet soda here. So there's still, the last two daily candles have printed candles with very good volume. In fact, above the exponential, green candles, continuation to the downside. RSI is still stochastic, still within the bullish control zone. There's bulls are still in control. So what I want to see here is kind of what we saw back here, right? One of these candles or one of these spinning doji candles, or long-legged candles, or maybe a morning star formation like this guy, or the evening star formation. A long. Typically, the best indicators are sort of a long body candle with a long wick on top of it, indicating that there's high selling pressure at a certain level, and then consolidating back, closing a candle with a smaller body, and then continuation to the downside, right? But again, you're going to have to be quick on your feet, because these retracements are probably going to be somewhere between 3 1/3%, as you saw here within this trend, and tops of about 7, 8, maybe 10%, right? Especially if we want to keep going on this trend. Now, this trend is probably still going to continue, and here's what I'm looking at as far as that goes. Let's extend this line here. We're still, very, very far apart, and there's a huge separation in between this area of support here and where things are at right now. If we actually draw this as a channel, we can see kind of where things are. Sort of a rising wedge. Let's get rid of this guy. All right, so, and let's maybe clean up a few of these lines here. All right, here we go. And these are resistance lines, obviously, and now it's support. But as you can start to see, we're sort of in this. Here's sort of the middle of the channel, right? We're still on top of this channel here. Let's look. This could be a GAN fan too, right? Just kind of what I'm trying to say here. But again, we're on top of this channel here. We're still in a very bullish posture and trend here. If we come back and retest this bottom side of the channel here, or the middle side of the channel here, at 10,900 or 10,091, 10,100, and that's kind of where we're looking to find maybe a bounce. If we don't, we're quite possibly going to come back down and consolidate here within this box here, 99.26. If we get below This area here, 9705, previous area of support here, 9700, we'll just call it that. If we dip down below that, then that could potentially be the end of this trend here, because we are breaking below this rising wedge, or yeah, within this rising trend, bull trend, and quite possibly if we open and close a daily candle below it, then most certainly we are going to come back and retrace further. All right, but that again is the bear case. That's not really here yet, but just something to be mindful of, right? If we break above, what is this, 10, 6, 14 with some volume, then we're probably going to go parabolic, and that'll probably be a lot closer to the end. But from a daily perspective, as of right now, again, even if we retrace to 10,100 area, that still be pretty bullish in my case. Just Bitcoin taking a nice little breather and then continuation to the upside, right? Right now, I have my eyes set on this target here at 10.5, 10.6. That's where I think we're going to have to reassess again, right? Once we reach that, just have and again, as we have seen in these previous levels, right? What did we do? We did a retest, or we had a retest of 10,450, and we rejected off of there. Now we're trying at it again, right? We're at 10,418. We're going to have a second shot at it on this daily candle at 10,450, and let's see what happens there. If we break above it, then you betcha we're probably going to retest 10.5, 10.6. Probably reject on the first pass. But as long as we don't, wick up here and then end up closing this candle right around, say, below 10,350. So I'm looking for, a retest of 10.6, 10,550, closing the same candle at 10,350 or below would probably indicate a reversal, right? That would start to look like a reversal, right? So pay attention. Maybe write it down on a sticky note, put it by your keyboard or your monitor to remind you that if we come back and retest 10.6, close the candle below 10.350, it's gonna look like a reversal candle, right? All right. So just a little heads up. Again, not a bad idea to start shaving off some of those profits. Take 10, 15, 25%, even 50% is not, it's not overdue. Not financial advice, sharing what I'm doing, what I think, my opinions. You guys can do whatever you want. You probably have a better strategy than I do, and you guys can leave it down in the comments here so everybody can actually share in the same fortune, or learn from your successes, right? That's what this channel and community is all about. All right, so you guys can do that if you want. Do we need to talk about alts? I don't know. Alts have been, just insane. I'll talk about the top 3 altcoins, which, Link, gosh, Link, and look, this is the kind of stuff that I'm looking for a reversal. But then, geez, this is an altcoin. Altcoins are not subject to the same rules as Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just a behemoth when it comes to volume and liquidity. Alts play to a different tune or a different drum, in my opinion. I don't always trust these things. Again, Ethereum, I would trust it. Bitcoin, definitely trust it, but not so much in these things, especially because, if Bitcoin starts to run again, what do you think the alts are going to do? All right. Anyway, this definitely, if this was Bitcoin, I would consider this sort of a reversal candle. Let's see where this one ends up. This is on a daily still, a brand new daily as of 2 hours and 47 minutes ago. So let's see where this one ends. I mean, there's plenty of time to go. This could actually end up going south here and closing in the red, and that would obviously indicate sort of a morning star formation and continuation to the downside. All right, so this is way too early to call it, but this candle here printed in the middle here is indicative of what could be, or of what could be to come. A trend reversal for the shorter time frame, right? That's Link. But Jesus Lord, I mean, just in the last week or so, body to wick. I know that doesn't make sense, but I'll do it anyway. 47.86, almost 48%. Just in the last week, it's insane, just insane. So Link, depending on what happens on this next daily candle, could signal a reversal. All right, that's Link. Let's talk about Ethereum, because Ethereum has just been going nuts. Yeah, I mean, continuation to the upside. This is not what I'm looking for to signal a reversal. If this candle ends up, in the red, um, yeah, in the red, or a very tight small body in green here, that could also be something that could sign a reversal, or something that could potentially lead to a reversal. All right, so not yet. Let's talk about. I know Cardano was actually running pretty good earlier. Yeah, same kind of thing, depending on where this daily ends up. XLM, same deal. TRX is running currently. Yep, very beautiful, very good looking candle formation here. Very bullish. It's not done yet. Let's talk about EOS. EOS, yeah, just depending on where this candle ends here. This one's on another potential reversal in the making here. If we end up red, or maybe with a longer candlestick, or not candlestick, but wick, and red body here to the downside, that could also be another indicator. Waves is kind of consolidating. I don't like that it lost at 200 on the daily. This could actually be heading down. So if you're in waves right now, it's probably a good time to take some profits. And one of the other big ones, massive ones, Tezos, right? XTZ. Definitely a good idea to take profits. You see this long wick, a lot of selling pressure here. Although, I mean, this candle was massive bull candle here in the volume node here. We did have a bearish cross on the stochastic. If we don't bounce from this area or the 21 right below it, then it's probably over, and we're probably going to head back down. Again, there's a lot, huge selling pressure up here, signaling that there could be a reversal coming. All right. SPY, Jesus, no reversal indicator here at all. All-time high. Gold is still struggling to do anything, just consolidation here for gold. Not a good time for a growth play. XRP still looking pretty strong here. I do want to see this volume node get above the exponential here. If not, I would probably start to think that this run is probably coming to close to an end. But we'll see. There's still plenty of time left on this daily candle here, and we are having sort of a positive bullish curvature here, crossing back over on the bullish cross on the stochastic, and staying within the bull control zone. So don't anticipate anything bad there. Let's look at BNB. BNB just continues to go. I mean, this is a continuation, a hammer candle here, but the wick is to the downside. A lot of buying pressure below, and then continuation to the upside. Maybe this, depending on again, this is a new daily candle, just depending on what happens here, where we close. Then that could also signal a reversal. All right, so I think we went over all of the main alts. Bitcoin, we pretty much covered everything. So that is all I've got for you. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do so now, and hit the bell notification as well, so you get notified whenever I put out new content. And leave your comments down below. Leave your strategies down below. We'd love to discuss. Again, you are doing the community a favor by sharing your ideas and trade strategies, as we all can learn from each other, right? So leave it down in the comments. Don't be shy. Reach out. The Real Shots of 56 at Twitter. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great night. Hope you got something in exchange for your time here tonight.